let me call them gurus, because they have represented this country years that some of us were never born. One of them is Hezron Mukamba. Karibu sana Hezron.
Thank you.
And also we have Samuel Ruto, one of the people who are stars in matters to do with the 800 meters. How was it, Samuel? Let me start with you. How was running in those days representing the country?
Well, I could say actually we could run for the country, but actually this is just for the sake of the glory of the nation. There was no money the way people are running nowadays for money, and at least it was a very lively competition. You use your energy, maybe how you have trained, without any addition of anything else, and it was really lively by the time. Right.
It was very lovely. Is it that different running those days? Because I know right now a lot of people are running because they want to make that money. And some of them, it's money that drives them. Some it's because they have a passion to represent the country. How different is it now and those days, Hezron?
I think our time was a little bit good because we were running like this Grand Prix 1990 up to 2000, somewhere there. We were getting good money, not really bad as Ruto said, 80s.
Those 80s.
So start from 90 up to 2000 up to now, things are not bad. Things are going good, money are there. Yeah, we want our young ones to go on running, and we motivate them more so to do better.
We're talking about motivating these young athletes, and Kenya has been selected. We will be hosting the World Under-20 in 2020. How did you receive this news? I know it's for the first time an African nation is hosting this event. It will be an important event for this country because we have a lot of talent, Samuel.
Well, I don't think it's the first time, because this is an event that we hosted 2017. And I think what really made the IAAF a team to like Kenya again is actually the way how the event was organized. Was very, very well organized.
The under-18 at that time?
The under-18 at that time. And especially the turnout of the fans, it really shocked the whole world. Because for the last 2 to 3 days, the whole of Kasarani was full of fans of athletics. And this actually takes us back again to 1987, when we had the 4th African Games that was held in Kasarani. It reached a level whereby even the organizers had to advise the fans actually to go back to their homes and watch the event from the screen, because maybe the stadium was going to go down because of the huge turn of the people. So I would want to say that actually, me being one of the persons who could receive a very big excitement when I had again that we have been given this opportunity to host it again 2020, it is just because of the leadership of Athletic Kenya and Lieutenant General Jack Tuwei and Barnabas Kororo, who was actually handling the whole issue. Actually, we are very much happy, and we welcome the whole thing, and not even me alone, even across the nation. People are very much welcoming, and we are now starting preparation. We will not want to hear any interference of any person who wants to bring us down because of some funny issues.
You talk about funny issues, and there has been a lot of talk about athletes, those who represented the country in the 80s, the likes of Samuel, who represented the country in 1982 and those years. A lot of these athletes made money. Some of them made huge money. But when you see the life that they live at this point in time, maybe one might argue that they never utilized that money the way they were supposed to do. What exactly is happening? Because we have a number of legends in this country, some of which now we are even forgetting about.
Yeah, I can say to start, I can congratulate the AK. They have started a program. They bring these people, when they come from abroad, maybe the whole seminar, maybe Lole or Nairobi, to teach these young ones how to utilize their money. So I think these days things are going well, and you know very well when you are young, you don't get somebody to advise you how to use your money. Maybe you may get a little bit problem. But now, AK is doing a better job. They are training these people. When they go up there, they come with the money. They know how to invest it. Sometimes they bring these banks, commercial, cooperative, they train them how to save their money. So I think it's a great job for the AK.
You're talking about Athletics Kenya, and I'm told that a lot of the athletes who represented the country in years, in let's say 20, 30 years ago, right now at least you are invited to different events, and maybe somehow it seems like the federation is recognizing now the former athletes?
Yeah, actually, there's such program actually going on now, and even beside that, the opportunity that the federation has given out to the athletes now, because actually we have some of the managers who are, some of the athletes who are managing these athletes, and we really want to congratulate them, because if not of their effort actually to support these athletes, maybe from different companies, they could have not really made it to the level where they have reached, and that's why. You know, leadership at that time is quite challenging. And that's why, as a friend of mine says, that there's a mechanism now that the Athletic Kenya is putting in place, whereby they want to bring athletes together and give them some counseling how they will be using their money. Well, you talked about a lifestyle that maybe some of those athletes who made money some time back, and at that moment, maybe some of them might be living in a very pathetic situation. Some of them are very wise enough. We can bring the likes of people like Moses Kiptanui, who constructed Komoro Center in Eldoret. This was actually one of the athletes that can really be remembered for years, because he gave out some direction for some of the athletes, because at the moment, even when athletes compete in some of these big races on earth, everybody thinks that I want to go and put a building in Eldoret like the way Kiptanui did. Some are building up even here in Tungong. Some are redoing in Nakuru, even Nyahururu. So there are those people who, there are those athletes who use their money wisely. And if you come across them now, this time, people like the president of National Olympic Committee, Paul Targat, he has also invested very well. Among others, people like Noah Ngeny and Ibrahim Hussein. Just to mention a few. I tend to tell you that not all athletes who made their way and made a big money in the global of athletics that are living a pathetic life. But actually, the mechanism that the Athletic Kenya is trying to put in now is to bring these athletes together, maybe then give them some counseling how to utilize their money. And I think this is a good direction to go.
We talk about setting records, and I know Beatrice Chepkoech in Monaco Diamond League, she was able to set that 3,000 meters steeplechase record. Yeah. Maybe you'll tell me something about your take on that, setting that record. But there is also a lot of talk that a lot of athletes, a lot of Kenyan athletes did set records in those years, the 70s, the 60s, the 90s. A lot of records were being set by Kenyans. But now, the number of records that we seem to be breaking and setting those records is quite different. What exactly is happening to that?
Oh, well, I can say it's a kind of the training. These days, we have a lot of camps, which we are not having from all days. We have coach. We have trained a lot of coach in this country. I think the training now is a little bit challenging. It's nice. That's why I can say records are being broken nice.
But those records are not being broken as much as they should, maybe, because a lot of the records that are standing are records that were set in years back. Not many records are being set now. What exactly is happening? Maybe the kind of training, or we should say the athletes wale wa zamani walikuwa na nguvu zaidi kushinda now the athletes that we have now?
Okay, maybe on my side, I may say that, okay, the other records who are broken some time back, and for example, somebody mentioned, like for example, like the 110 meter hurdles record for men that was broken in 1974 by Fatuel Kimayo, 1369. It has not been broken at this moment. And what I could probably agree with you is that most of the athletes at the moment, and even their managers, they seem to be shifting to a longer distance, especially from middle distance, to the long distance marathon road races. And I think that's where there is a lot of pain. Okay, I can say it again that Athletic Kenya still has a lot of work to do, because my complaint has been that if you look at the athletes from maybe a country like Bahamas, like Britain, like Jamaica, United States, the structures of those athletes who are taking sprints and taking races are just like this young men from Western, from Nyanza, Coast. And remember Coast again, Coast gave us the first printer, maybe those early years, Saravina and Tao. I think the Federation actually has a lot of work to do now. And I'm telling you, come next year, 2019, as we have been accepted now that we are going to host under 20, you will see fireworks. How things are going to work.
Issue about doping, a big issue, and we've seen how it has tainted even some of the big names in athletics here in the country. What is your take about that, Ezra?
Yeah, I can say it's a little bit difficult to say, but our learners, I'm a coach now, as I'm speaking, we are trying to tell them not to take any bills and nothing when they train, when they go to the race. So we have a little bit challenge about that, but we are going to tackle that. We are going, the young ones who are coming now, we are on telling them how to do and even attack officials, putting many meetings, training, what all counts, so that they train the young ones how to run green, how to train minus taking tracks. So I think it's a challenge, but we are telling them.
Is it a challenge that can be solved once and for all? Or I know not an easy one, because not all athletes, because we talk about lifestyle, and that lifestyle maybe is what will lead some of the athletes who want to use shortcuts to be the stars. But is it a war that Kenya is fighting in the way we're supposed to?
Okay, it is a very serious war that we are not going to spare anybody who will be found that maybe is connected to this kind of, this game of giving these athletes some of those drugs. And even as I speak today, I also want to tell, sometimes there is time for jokes and there's time of meaning business. If at all we come across anybody who is trying to connect to any coach, if he does not have sufficient evidence that is a trafficking for these kind of substances, we are not going to allow it. Otherwise, it's a big war that Athletic Kenya has declared, and we, as we talk now, I represent Masters Athletics, of which this is an organization that started some time back, about 1975. It was registered in 1977. It started from Sweden. 15 years ago, it came to Africa. It was absorbed by Algeria. It went down to Morocco, Togo, Nigeria, South Africa, Namibia, and Zambia. Yeah. So this time around, we are lucky to host Masters trials. That is, the team already have been selected, and they will depart from this country on 1st of September, all the way to Malaga, Spain, whereby it will be led by our Secretary Rosta Tamuya, who has been one of the stars some of those times, early those years. And we are also putting up together. We are under Athletic Kenya. We call ourselves Athletic Kenya Masters, because our father and our mother is Athletic Kenya. So this is a fight that each and every person is taking it head on. Nobody should be found trying to play around with our athletes, because it is we who are giving our young athletes direction. And at the moment we lose that direction, it will be a disaster to this nation. The nation that has got a very great name internationally, and that's why we have been accepted to host this under 20. I am also sure that even if we are going to request next time, after this under 20, we will also request for the World Championship, of which we are capable to host it. Otherwise, this is my position actually.
I know that will be a very beautiful thing if we get to host the World Championship. Maybe as we come to conclusion, what's your message to the young athletes, the elite athletes, and also the talent that we have here in the country in regards to the athletics career?
Yeah, my message is clear to young ones who are out there to train and follow the coach rules that the coach gives, and from there they can do better. And again, I can congratulate AK Athletics Kenya for supporting the young ones from the grassroots. I remember one day they just looked at where the camps are, and they motivated them. At the same time, they motivate the coaches. Yeah. So I can say the young ones who are coming, let them prepare well. They can make man outside there if they listen to the coaches.
Listening to the coaches is the message. What's your message to the athletes and also maybe to the Athletics Kenya leadership?
Okay, my final message at this juncture is that, first of all, I want to thank this station of Kenya KTN, though I do not know the full name. What does KTN means?
Kenya Television Network.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So actually, I want to thank you because actually you have been in forefront, actually making sure that you find how development of athletics is going on in this country, not only athletics and
thank you very much.
Very many disciplines of sports in this country. You have been in the forefront. And even beyond that, you have been supporting. And if at this time, I think I'm making also an appeal that we intend also to host the trial for Masters, African Masters Games, because it will be held in Tunisia on December. So we are looking at it maybe somewhere around the first week of October or the second week of October or the first week of November, so that we can, because we intend to host African Masters next year, 2019, in Kenya. Yeah. So I think it's our big task that we take a very big bulk for athletes to Algeria, so that they may see that we are really in demand of this exercise. And then above all, I also want to thank the devolved government because we need also support from our counties. There are some counties that have really worked very hard to make sure that they put up some structures of sporting activities. And imagine if the whole chairman of the governors, Joseph Nanok, all the way from Turkana, is putting up a stadium. Kakamega is complete, Kisumu, Garissa, almost everywhere. And I want to assure you that even my own governor, Professor John Koroblo Nyangapuo from West Pokot, is a man of action. He tells me he wants to beat Mutua from Machakos. He is very soon going to put up a very sophisticated stadium in Kapenguria and make sure that he develops some athletes. So, I mean, let us hope that all other counties will come up, because without having grassroots base, so that we can have the best of our best athletes at a higher level, it will be difficult. I know one of the challenges that we are having is finances. Even Athletic Kenya has been trying a lot to make sure that we bring up this issue of nurturing talent from the ground, but the finances they are getting is quite minimal. So that we say that if the counties can also support this exercise, and above all, there is also something that many people have not known. Members of Parliament do have money for sporting activities, the so-called extracurriculums. And the only member of Parliament whom I respect up to this moment is so-called Sakaya Choriot from Kuresoi, who used to spend 15%, because the law says that out of the allocation of CDF money that's given to every constituency, the minimum is supposed to be used for sporting activities is 2%, and the maximum is supposed to be 15%, which most of the members of Parliament don't give this. And I'm making this kind of announcement. Come next year, if something will not have happened, I will have to blow what you call it, proposal or what? So to the whole nation that this we must mean business, because there is no more jobs to give to our children at the moment. But using this talent, most of the athletes are very comfortable now. If Chepet could have not even gone to Bahrain, you know, when she broke world record by putting 8:52.78, which was broken the other day by Beatrice Chepkoech. I mean, Chepet now, Chepet do not want even to be employed by anybody, because the money she won, millions of money, how do you employ a millionaire? So this is a way we will also want to take our athletes, our young people, so that they may also earn their living for the future. Otherwise, we are very thankful for this gesture you have given us.
Thank you very much, Samuel Ruto, there telling us in black and white what has been happening in athletics. I know they represented the country. Thank you very much for coming to our studios at the same time, and also thank you very much for the messages that are going to our viewers. And also, here's Ron Mukamba. Thank you very much for joining us. And yes, they are saying it in black and white. We need to invest in athletics. We need to invest in sports. A lot of talent out there. And what we need to do is make sure that that talent is taken good care of. At the same time, they're saying if you're an athlete, then play it clean and make sure you don't use substances that are against the law. From this point, we will take a short commercial break, but when we come back, we will be talking about what is happening in preparation to the in preparation to the EPL. I know KPL, today we have 2 matches, but we'll be talking about the English Premier League. It's about around the corner. The games will start at 10th of August, so a lot to talk about, but we'll have that and much more after this short commercial break.